Hi, and welcome back to the second hour of Focal Point AFR Talk. Don't forget, if you don't live in one of our communities with one of our radio stations, you can always access us on the web. We have audio and video streaming at afr.net, afr.net, audio and video streaming there. We have podcasts you can sign up for there. We also have apps for the iPod, or the iPad, for the iPhone, and for the Android, so you can catch us on the go. So go there and access those options. If you got family members or friends that live outside of one of the communities that's a part of our network, one of the cities that's a part of our network, you can encourage them to be able to access the programming on the web through audio and video streaming, afr.net. Don't forget, by the way, coming up in October 1 through 4, the AFA annual Cove Retreat, going to feature Governor Mike Huckabee. Tim Wildman, the president of AFA, will be there, an opportunity in an absolutely gorgeous setting to enjoy some fellowship, enjoy some fun, enjoy some inspirational teaching, enjoy some great worship. Dan Celia, who does the financial affairs program on AFR Talk, will be there. Apologist to Alex McFarland, who hosts Exploring the Word, the program that comes on right after Focal Point. Hope you'll stay tuned every day for Exploring the Word. Alex McFarland will be there. So if you'd like to get more information about that, October 1 through 4, so you still got time to make arrangements to be there, go to afr.net, afr.net to get the information, or you can call 800-950-2092, 800-950-2092, and get all the information you need. By the way, another way you can participate in the program is through our email address, focalpoint@afr.net. We monitor that inbox during the program, focalpoint@afr.net. Can't respond to all the emails, but we do read them, and it gives us an opportunity to hear from you, another way for you to communicate your point of view. Some of you may not want to actually call in the program, but you may have a perspective that you want to share. This would be a good way to do it. Now, President Obama out there today delivering a 1 hour and 6-minute speech on the economy. And Chuck Todd, this is clip number 2, Chuck Todd had this to say about the speech this morning on MSNBC before it was actually delivered. And Chuck Todd was exactly right in what he said here, and that's why we're not going to spend a lot of time on President Obama's speech. Let's listen.
This speech, this pivot to the economy, again, it's like deja pivot I have when it comes to the economy. But it seems that they really are signaling they are going to have a campaign approach to this fight with Congress when it comes to the debt ceiling, when it comes to sequestration 2.0, all of the decisions that are coming to a head in the fall. They're basically saying, hey, we're going to travel the country.
Well, they learned that lesson in 2011 during the debt ceiling debacle, which was playing out at this point 2 years ago. When that collapsed and turned into such a mess, they pivoted away, as we all know, and went into campaign mode in the fall. And as you remember, he put the Jobs Act forward right after Labor Day in 2011, mostly as a campaign effort. And I think what we're going to see is very similar. But I think that the real question is, what does he really have to say at this point? I mean, is he simply trying to do it for politics? Perhaps, but that begs the question of what do you do about a sticky unemployment rate, middle-class families that are struggling? I mean, there's a lot that he has to deal with.
You know what they're acknowledging, Margie, is they have nothing new to say. Because what are they saying? Hey, look back at this speech. He has said it all before. So he doesn't have anything new to say. He's just going to say it differently.
So that's Chuck Todd. Doesn't have anything new to say. He's just going to say it differently. And indeed, he did not have anything new to say. And this, pivot to jobs, Chuck Todd had a great expression in there as a deja pivot, meaning Obama has done this thing before. In fact, Daniel Halper, Weekly Standard's gone back and counted the number of times that President Obama or the media has used that very verb to pivot to jobs or pivot to the economy. 19 times since President Obama has been in office, 19 times he said, I'm going to pivot to jobs, going to pivot to the economy. Yeah, I've said it before, but this time I mean it. This time I am serious. And by the way, it's interesting. Chuck Todd is a very revealing thing. I'm not even sure that he realized exactly what he was saying. He says this, it seems like they are really signaling they are going to have a campaign approach to this fight. And you start thinking about the entire Obama administration is about campaigning. It's all campaigning. Everything they do is campaigning. They are not interested in governing. They are interested in campaigning. That's all he ever does. He doesn't govern, never does anything. He just campaigns. And the purpose of the Obama administration and the purpose of his speeches is not to govern. It's not to lead. It is to demonize the opposition. That's his whole purpose in having this campaign tour of these 6 speeches. Not interested in governing, just interested in agitating. He's a community agitator, and that's what he is intended to do. So 19 times now in his administration, he has pivoted to jobs. And Weekly Standard, Daniel Halper's piece goes through the list, and he has 14 of them. There's 19 altogether if you go back to the start of his administration. He just started counting since January 2011. That's when Daniel Halper started counting. January 2011. This is back 2+ years. The White House has quickly pivoted to jobs. April 2011, Obama's day turning back to jobs. August 2011, Obama and Senate Dems plan pivot to jobs. August 2011, Huffington Post, Obama's jobs pivot. September 2011, Politico, President Obama pivots to jobs. June 2012, Obama to revisit economic debate. July 2012, MSNBC, the jobs pivot. February 2013, National Journal, stung by media's focus on liberal agenda, Obama pivots back to the economy. You know, Rick Klein, ABC at the time, said, look, he's pivoted enough times to to go dizzy, give himself a headache. He had to have a migraine the number of times he's pivoted on jobs. February 2013, Associated Press, Obama will pivot back to jobs. And the list just goes on and on and on. Constant pivot to jobs never actually arrives at any sort of a solution. Now, President Obama said in his speech that we bailed out the automobile economy. I'm looking at a piece here today from myfoxdetroit.com. Taxpayers, that's you and me, we are still on the hook for $18.1 billion for the GM bailout. In other words, they didn't get bailed out. We're still in the hole, $18 billion for the GM bailout. We didn't save the auto industry. It hasn't been saved. They still owe us $18 billion, and the chances are very, very good we're not going to get any of that back. The General Motors stock would have to sell for $95 a share for us to be made whole, and currently it's selling at about 1/3 of that price. So rather than the automobile industry being saved, $18 billion in the hole. Our middle class globally is only ranked 27th in the world. You take it, the median income, half the people in that nation make more, half the people make less. We are 27th in the world. Australia is in the lead. We are 27th. We're behind places like Kuwait and Cyprus and Spain. Focal Point AFR Talk.